If everything's above board, we expect...
Do you know something we don't?
Hello, I'm Gary Parkinson, Global Digital Editor of FourFourTwo, and you've joined us for the World Cup preview, which is a very good decision, if I may say so myself. Joining me is Hitesh Ratner, the editor of FourFourTwo, Andy Murray, staff writer of FourFourTwo, Chris Flanagan, staff writer of FourFourTwo. What a panel of experts we have. And as makes alphabetical sense, we'll start with Group A, which was, last time I checked, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Egypt and Uruguay. So how's that one going to go, fellas?
Well, I think the big question we're all asking ourselves before this group gets going is just how many VAR decisions will Russia get in their favour? Because I know that's what I'm thinking about. Because, you know, as hosts, they're not favourites to qualify. In fact, you know, we'd be surprised if they go through. Well, I'll be interested to see what kind of chicanery they get up to.
I'm sure it'll all be above board chicanery.
Cambridge Analytica has been shut down now, so there is nothing untoward that can go on your Facebook feeds. It's
a strange group. Some strange fixtures to start the World Cup with. If I'm being perfectly honest, slightly underwhelming first couple of days fixtures before we get onto
Russia, Saudi Arabia.
Russia, Saudi Arabia is not the sort of thing to get your heart pumping, but it could be an interesting. Well, it could be an interesting one. I mean, the thing is, who knows what's going to happen? Because Russia have been in fairly awful form. Saudi Arabia all seem to have moved to Spain for reasons unspecified.
And in terms of the group itself, I think everyone's looking at Uruguay to probably finish top. They've got big tournament pedigree. They've got two world-class forwards and a manager who's been there for ages, Oscar Tabarez, and you know he kind of knows what it takes to get through. And Uruguay, you know, they're just bastards, and they know how to get the job done.
There's even a hashtag narrative with Uruguay, because Tabarez, who's now 71, has got Guillain-Barré syndrome, is it pronounced? Where you lose the peripheral use of your limbs. He's always got to use crutches. And
the squad absolutely love him. Like whenever I've interviewed any Uruguayan about international footballer, he's kind of like they talk about him like a kindly uncle, and they just want to do well for him, basically. So I mean, when you've kind of got world-class players like Hitesh has said, you know, an aging back four, maybe, you know, Godin is going to be his last World Cup, but, you know, look at Atletico's defensive record this season. He's still obviously very good. So, you know, if you have that really strong spine, then it's going to go far. Everyone pulling in the right direction. You know, and a spirit, never to say die spirit, that they have. The Uruguayans call it garra, which is unique to Uruguay. They just fight until the end, literally and figuratively.
I think that's how your name's pronounced in Uruguay as well.
Yeah, I will fight to the end as well. They certainly do well for a nation of 3.4 million people.
Incredible.
To be honest, it's not the toughest group.
No.
You'd expect them to get on a roll early on with this. I mean, the only, well, arguably, the main rivals for this group are Egypt.
Yeah. Can't believe we've gone this long without mentioning one Mohamed Salah.
Shall we all say Ahmed Hagazi? No?
Yeah, and they're obviously, Egypt are obviously heavily reliant on Salah to get their goals and be their kind of main attacker. So Salah is used to carrying the team, and he does it for club and country. And you know, wouldn't be surprised at all to see Egypt give Uruguay a run for their money.
But the other thing you need, if you've got that kind of guy up the sharp end, is you need organisation and you need defensive determination, and they've got that as well. They've got Hector Cooper organising them supremely. They've got a deep defence and then two defensive midfielders sat on top of them, including El Neni of Arsenal. And you know, just like you said, give it to that guy and pray.
If anything, they've been criticised for being too defensive on occasions. So I mean, it shows that, you know, the organisation is clearly there. I think, yeah, I'd fancy them to finish second in that group. I think Russia against Egypt is going to be the game that decides who qualifies in that group.
And the entire World Cup starts with to rank outsiders. You have to say Russia against Saudi Arabia, which although it may not be the top of your the TV must-watch list, apart from the fact that it's an opener, it could go a long way to deciding. I mean, either of those chances could get through in second.
I think the one thing you'd say is that it's a perfect fixture for Russia to start with, because I think if they start against Egypt or Uruguay and they start with a defeat, then it starts getting really bad for them, and the whole atmosphere in the country turns. I think against Saudi Arabia, Russia aren't a great team at this moment, but they could still beat Saudi Arabia, and then they start getting a bit of momentum, the fans in the country start getting behind them.
So what's gone wrong with Russia then? I mean, apart from the fact that I guess that they're the only automatic qualifiers, so...
Yes, but I mean, I think this decline has been going on for quite a long time now. We saw at the Euros how poor they were. Basically, the good players they had have gone. The solid defence they had with the Berezutskis and Ignashevich have gone. Akinfeev is still there, but Akinfeev is renowned for not being very good at tournaments. And you know, the likes of Andrei Arshavin are long gone now, and they're just really lacking in quality. And it's home advantage will help them, but will it help them enough to get through? Maybe not.
So are we decided then, as a unified team, that Uruguay are going to top this group with Egypt also going through, Saudi Arabia going home and Russia going not quite as far home?
Going home, but staying home.
Yeah, I think if everything's above board, we expect we expect those two.
We don't.
Yeah, that would be I think most people's kind of thoughts on that.
I think it's not impossible that Russia could get through, but I think I'd still fancy Egypt ahead of them.
What do you think, dear viewer? Let us know in the section below, in the comments below. Do you agree with us, or do we know nothing? I'm sure you'll be quick to tell us.